What is your general thought on like why do things pop? Like I understand as we get older, but like with him, after he hurt his shoulder, now it pops almost.
Was it an AC sprain?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll touch on that because I'm sure somebody else had that question too. How long ago was it? How long ago was it? Was it football? September?
Or it was October. It was the last game.
It was like end of October.
Yeah. What position do you play?
Too many. I count.
Okay.
He was playing defensive end.
Defensive end against people that I shouldn't.
And the guy was so big and picked him up and like.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the collision was actually hitting the ground that you did it?
Well, it was. There were so many things going on. I wrapped around this guy. Some lineman down blocked me into another guy who threw me to the ground.
Okay, so you kind of had like a double whammy. Yeah. All right, guys. Julie had a great question. Who here gets popping, clicking, any of that stuff in the shoulder? A lot of stuff? Okay, so I'm gonna use this analogy here. And if this analogy is way off, just tell me because I've been using this for years and I can switch it up. So if we think of a train on the tracks, okay? If we're staying centered, we're smooth. Everything's moving freely. We're not getting any bumping, anything like that. If something's not moving how it should, that's when we start to get that popping, that clicking, all that stuff, that crepitus. Let me tell you this, it is not arthritis. I don't care what anybody says, that crap is not arthritis. You have fluid, you have different things that are moving through the knee, like to the body. If I were to squat and it was dead silent, my knees would sound like tree branches. Somebody told me that when I was 16 I had arthritis. I believed that until I was in PT school when I was 25, okay? So verbiage is so important. So you don't have anything that's necessarily torn when you're doing that stuff. Your shoulder's just not moving as efficiently as it should. So the goal for us is to make sure that we're trying to keep you centered as you're going through those different things so you're moving more efficiently. We had another question about an AC sprain, okay? So you injured it in October, right? What did you do for it after you injured it?
I saw my school team.
So,
Yeah, the school trainer did things with him after school every day, but beyond that, there wasn't much at home.
Okay. So saw the athletic trainer. Side note, I did athletic training undergrad. All those people, they worked their buns off. I totally respect it. It sucks when you have to see 100 athletes after school, and it always can be hard to kind of get the proper care like that. But for somebody like that, he has an injury in October. It's now January. We're still kind of feeling it like that, because the true cause of what's going on is not addressed. That's not something that you can rest and it goes away. And the same thing with a lot of these shoulder things, because what people do, let's take the CrossFitter for example. They have shoulder pain doing kipping pull-ups. So what do? They take 3 weeks off, they don't do anything. What happens when they do the kipping pull-ups again? We flare up again like that. So what I tell people, and this is gonna be probably the most beneficial thing I'm gonna say today, okay? I want you guys to think of a traffic light, okay? Red, yellow, green. Sean knows this. So if it is a 6 out of 10 or higher, and your 6 is different than my 6, but if you're absolutely dying in a CrossFit workout during a movement, you need to modify that. Because what people do is they push it, shoulder flares up, they rest it, and then it just keeps coming back. If you can keep things to a 1, 2, or 3 out of 10, that's kind of like the yellow modification zone, you're generally going to be a lot safer. The people that blast it and go 6 out of 10 during workouts, they ramp up that sympathetic nervous system. It starts affecting their sleep, they're stressed out, heart rate, blood pressure is coming in there, and people live with this for years. And when I say that, like years, okay? If you're a 0 and you're a green, that's awesome. That's the time that you can try different movements. The important thing though is, let's say Amy was a 2 out of 10 in the workout. She woke up the next day, she shot me a text and she's like, it's an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna say, great. What did you do during that workout? Because now we're finding what the triggers are and we know that what we have to do to program or look at during the next session. That's the way that I work. And being the physical therapist, guys, I don't see people for a lot of sessions. I wanna teach you what you need to do and you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it, okay? For that reason, I do not accept insurance. I get to the root cause, I treat the entire body, because if I get a script from a doctor and it says shoulder pain and they're telling me I can only address the shoulder, guess what? It's not doing anything. We're seeing each other for 8 to 12 weeks and doing the same cookie cutter exercises. When people come in to see me, They might have shoulder pain during a snatch, but we're working on ankle mobility because that's their limiting factor in their snatch. It has nothing to do with their shoulder. Once you find all the connections and you can build a program off of that, that's when you really start to get the results and check all the boxes.